right, welcome back into another episode of Indiebnb. Today I'm joined by Elena Soto from beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. Elena, how are you on this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Excited to talk with you. Elena is the talent buyer for the Masquerade, one of the oldest and most awesome music venues here in Atlanta. She also has a few other roles that she dabbles in. Um, but really excited to kind of dive into Masquerade, everything going into the talent buying process there. So, Elena, I want to start like for you, how does a typical show come together for you? In your world.
So a lot of the way it works, talent buying, in general, is agents reaching out to you about new artists that they're working with or they're excited about, and they're trying to put a tour together. So they'll reach out, they'll give us some information, some links, tell us about the artist, and we start, researching, checking it out ourselves, deciding how many people are going to come to this? Is it have real potential? And put together an offer based on that. Little back and forth and working on a date. It's kind of how it happens. And
I
then
love
you keep doing it over and over again with a
it.
lot of different artists.
Well, for you, like you have, for those who don't know, the Masquerade is not just one stage, but it is four stages. Um, and so you kind of have an awesome, optionality with a lot of artists. Like, how does that play a factor, for you having, obviously hell, heaven, purgatory, and altar now, as options for different people?
So yeah, we have the 250, the 300, the 625, and the 1450 caps. And then we're also doing shows all around town and other
Mhm.
cities and states. So when the agent reach out, they typically have something in mind, like we want to start small, or we have history with an act when they're coming through again, like this is how it did last time, or this is the size room they're doing in other markets, and things like that. So yeah, sometimes when you start small, it blows up and you move it up. Sometimes it starts big and it doesn't do so hot. And with having multiple stages, if the room is open, you can move it down. So there's a lot of flexibility in having all of the rooms, and there's a lot of opportunity for bands that keep coming back through to grow even just within the Masquerade in the building.
It's so interesting. So, you know, before we had Kenny's Alley and this kind of setup, like we had the building off of, I believe North Avenue, and which, by the way, if you get in an Uber, there's still a period now where if you type in Masquerade, it will take you to North Avenue. I've heard multiple people on that. So
Yeah,
I
and
don't know
bands will
why.
keep shipping their merch there too.
It's but I've got a lot of history, so I've been to both. I only went to heaven in the first event, first iteration, so I never went down to hell or the music park or anything. So I'm only 31, so I didn't get out of college in time to go and explore that. I did go see Schoolboy Q and Andrew WK at those at the old venue. So I don't know if you booked those or not, but I had a blast. Those were my first Masquerade experiences.
Yeah, those are good ones to start with. I believe I was at Andrew WK for sure.
Yeah, the gentleman came on the stage with the bear costume is what I remember most vividly, and it was like nothing I'd ever seen before. And every time he comes to town, I know he'll go by it on a show with him.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Um, for you, like the kind of as you guys moved over, like how was the transition? Like what are the things that kind of factored into that, like when you moved over to the new venue from the old one?
There was there's a lot to it. Um, I didn't start until 2014 booking, and I started earlier in some other jobs in 2012. So I don't have nearly the amount of history that our other buyer and the owner and some of the other, managers and people there have. I came in kind of later to the conversation where the building had already been sold and there were already developers talking about, oh, you have to leave in a few years type of thing. But it was always in everyone's head, like, yeah, a few years, like in the future, we're not really going to think about that or take like action on it. And then in 2015, it was like, no, like next year it's actually going to happen next year. And like Pont City Market was open, so it was really actually going to happen. And Masquerade had a few different sites in mind. We visited a lot of different places, a lot of different buildings, a lot of different parts of town, and decided on one. And we were going to move to the West End. It was highly publicized too. Like it wasn't a secret anymore that we made our decision to be there. But when we announced it, which was a good bit after we started all the plans, all the architectural drawings, and everything that was going to happen, we got sued by a home developer in the neighborhood because he wanted to block having a music venue near the development that he was building. With our hard move out date, we kind of couldn't wait through an entire lawsuit and legal battle because we booked all of our shows straight through. We knew that we would be down for 1 week and be open the next week at a new place. So the city of Atlanta offered us Underground Atlanta. The owner of Masquerade has a very deep history there as well. They owned, the three owners at the time had owned a bunch of different businesses down there, what they were before Underground kind of closed down and stopped having things in Kenny's Alley. So the city of Atlanta let us take those spaces temporarily. They're like, if you're going to fix them up to do what you need to do, have at it. But it was so successful there that they asked us to sign a lease. And we were like, yeah, sure. We'll take our time. And like, we did what we did to get them open and they were good enough. But then we planned, like, we're going to make these nicer now that we know we're going to stay and can actually put money into them. And since then, we've redone all of the rooms and renovated all of them one at a time. But we were closed November 2016, the week before Thanksgiving, was the end of the old building, and we opened a few days after Thanksgiving in the underground.
I mean, that is tight turnaround.
Yeah.
I mean, how nervous were you just that week of like, all right, like, are we ready? Is the, sound all gonna work? What did y'all have like a test show or anything there? Like, did you have people just go rip and jam in there just to see if it would sound good or?
I mean, we had techs working in there, setting everything up. We worked with Avatar Events Group and ASL, Atlanta Sound and Lighting. Like, we had everyone in there working around the clock after everything was even just cosmetically done. Like, it was all hands on deck. I was in there painting. Like, I painted a bunch of the rooms, and yeah, everyone was working really hard. Never have done something like that before. I think it was special to be a part of it, but during that lead up to it, not even just worried, but sad. Like, very, very sad.
Got you out there painting. I mean, that's awesome. Well, I guess kind of
Yeah.
you get a little. What rooms did you paint so we can when I go there I can take a photo and be like, I
Well,
appreciate this.
they've been renovated since, but I
Okay.
had painted the old hell and the old purgatory.
Okay. All right.
It was good enough, but it needed to be renovated by someone who knew how to do that better.
Mhm. I love. I went in there. I think a couple of last year, and I noticed the renovation, and I believe it was Purgatory where you moved the bar all the way
Mm-hmm.
to the deal, and like there used to be a weird like kind of VIP feeling area over there. Now it's going to the back part of the bar, and it just feels a lot bigger. I have some weird show story from that one. The I went to the Texas Hippie Coalition show where Big Daddy Rich got sick, and we didn't know till like I think y'all couldn't call it till the very, very end. And then, of course, I wanted to, this follow up after an altar. It was a different experience. But that's when I first went into the new bar. And then my favorite memory, though, I don't remember when the Moss played at the Masquerade, and he ripped the mic cord and hit the lady in the face. Like, I was, again, the most, I'm sure your skin is crawling talking about this, but I was there, so I got to ask, like, what, you know, did that end up okay? Like, there was no, I mean, I know in the back of your ticket, there's, objects might fly, but what happened with that?
Yeah, everything ended up okay. I think with Texas Hippie Coalition, we found out that they weren't going to play when you found out they weren't going to play. One of those, I mean, that happens pretty often. People call things right before doors for one reason or another. The Moss turned out okay. Yeah. I mean, I haven't heard anything else. We heard about it, but that was it.
Yeah.
So,
I think Kyle, my buddy from Zero, booked that. And
yeah.
I texted him immediately after. I was like, "Hey man, like you might want to check in on this because this happened because he wasn't there." And
Mm-hmm.
he was like, "Oh no, that's not good." And yeah, I never kind of got any ideas from that. But obviously odd that I go to so many random shows. The Moss had been on the podcast, that's why I went to that. And so it's like
Awesome.
the getting going. But you kind of transition here, like you're also on the the management side of things. So you kind of have both ends of the spectrum here. So do you have to put on different hats when you're doing management stuff and you're reaching out to venues on your own, or are you like, hey, like I know what they're looking for, I'm well equipped to get people booked where I want them?
So the management that I work for, small, for artists. The actual manager in charge, founder, her name is Kristen. She's awesome. And at the end of last year, she brought me on to work with her more in a tour coordinator capacity. Because I also am a tour manager and tour a lot. So I work with one of her bands, and she brought me in to kind of do it remotely for her other bands and solve problems and keep on top of things, but as well as working with going through different things that promoters submit, like radio plans and marketing plans and different things like that, because I'm on the other end submitting them as well. Like I'm familiar with those, and sharing different announced timelines and things like that with the artists when I'm on the other side, sending the same announced timeline to everyone at Masquerade. And yeah, it kind of transitions and works very easily with one another, but it's just from the other perspective.
You have one thing you like doing better?
Not necessarily better. I mean, they're both a lot of heavy lifting, heavy email. I think I get to experience more new artists when I'm working on the buyer side, which is awesome. I love doing that. And also I love when agents are presenting something to you that they're like very excited about, because it makes you excited too. And on the management side, I've just always really loved logistics, and I really do love touring. So applying that to this and working with more bands and their tour managers and seeing how they do things and then bringing it into how I do things, it's like a very good information share, because no one teaches you that. Everyone is just thrown into it. So it's nice to work with a lot of people who know what they're doing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we spoke with buddy Jameson Tack. I've seen him at Alter as well, but he's in a touring. He has his own touring deal, and talking to him about, hey, how are you reaching out to venues? What is the thing you're doing? Are you calling them? Are you texting, email? Like, and really hearing a lot about like you have to be content. I think like that is the one thing he said is like, yeah, I don't really work with people that I don't like truly, am going to go for because I stand on the table obviously for my band, but the band that I'm also representing. So you're kind of interesting. So you had the management company. You guys managed Yellow Card, Newfound Glory. Some of these early aughts large bands. I can remember being on them, watching MTV and seeing the Newfound Glory music videos all the time. So, I mean, working with folks like that, like, what are they? Is it, a different kind of, people know them already? Is it, what are you kind of, how are you setting the expectations for folks in helping them obviously get from point A to point B?
Yeah. A lot of it, I mean, it kind of runs itself at that point. Newfound Glory, they're my main focus. They've been doing it for so long. And they're the ones that I also tour with. So when I'm out there and I'm reaching out to venues, I'm like, all right, same deal as it's always been. Like, how the shows run, how it functions, that the show is doing well because each time it's never doing worse. It's only
Yeah,
doing better. So everyone's like happy to see you and happy to have you there. Um, Whereas, a lot of the non-legacy acts, it's a gamble. It's a gamble booking them, and you always hope for the best and work your hardest to develop them. So on the management and touring side, it's a gamble there as well to see how the venues are going to receive it and work for it. But the legacy acts, there's so much history that it speaks for itself.
well, with those newer apps, like put your talent, like somebody you guys took a gamble on, and you like, yeah, I knew it and I nailed it. Like, who's that comes to
Um, hmm. There's a lot of smaller ones that we've worked with for a long time. They're not necessarily even like a newer band. They're just
mind?
ones that we invested in kind of over and over again at the smaller level. And, one thing happens and all of a sudden they're big. There's a band, Hot Mulligan. They played so many times opening for bands in the Purgatory Room. And then we went bigger one time. Everyone's like, yeah, they're really popping off. Let's try 1450 cap after not even really headlining the 300 cap. And it was awesome. It sold out like very quickly. They were so good. The fans were incredible. And that's happened a few times. Like the same, we worked with them really small. That happened with Turnstile. They played the Purgatory Room all the time. They played the festival that I used to book, and they played like the medium stage. They played in the Old Hell. They played a late night in Purgatory, and now they're huge.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome. That's awesome to hear. I mean, again, like I think like when we have a lot of artists that do listen to this, it's like, you get in and you have good music, you have your ducks in a row, and you just keep putting in the work. The 10-year overnight success is pretty true, I think, in music for a lot of folks, and just you keep grinding, like it will happen, and if you keep getting fans to show up, like um, you know, for you, like what is somebody who, like, I don't know, phrase it, like somebody who you've been surprised, like, or some event that you've been surprised has been big. Like I went to emo night one time. I was blown away by how many folks were there. Like I never would have thought about that. And I mean, it was awesome. I had a great time, but like never would have thought that like a DJ playing this music is just gonna sell out 1450 cap. And like it was standing, like nowhere to go.
yeah, emo night's definitely one of those. I mean, we did it a bunch at the old building in Hell. It was pretty full, not sold out, because it was a good time. Like you could
Mhm.
tell people were super into it. And all of the sudden, I mean, even might have been post COVID when it happened, but there was this resurgence in the genre. Um, the emo pop punk started being really big again, and emo night has cultivated such a good brand. And out of nowhere, like sales were pacing the same way that they always had done. And the week of, we'd sell like 1,000 tickets. Even we have emo night this weekend, and it's on track to sell another like 600 tickets in the next 2 days. It's just one of those late buying ones, so it'll keep you nervous every time, but at the same time, you know what it's about to do. And it's still always a surprise seeing how many people the day of are like, yeah, I need to go to that, or I'm going to be there.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
I think I was one of those late buys. I bought the ticket day of to go on Friday night, and I think it was 22 or 21. I was like, whoa, there's a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah. Any DJ party is surprising when it does super well because you never know how it'll do compared to a live band.
Mhm.
But the way that Emo Night has cultivated their brand and made the dance party cool and like part of the culture has been sick.
Speaking of like DJs, and often, I've seen it. I obviously have been in district, seen Norman Fuhr there, and like the types of that type of show. Is that something that Masquerade would ever do, or you've done in the past? Like I know it's later at night generally, but do those people ever? I'm getting old now, obviously, and I want to go to that, but I want to go at 9 p.m. I don't want to go at 11. So like, is that something that would happen, you think, or am I just have a pipe dream?
Um, we don't do as much EDM or DJs as we would like to. I think they've always kind of had promoters with a deep, deep history, just like, Masquerade kind of has a deep history in like the alternative, the grunge, punk scene. There's promoters who have, I think it's Iris and a few others. They've worked on the EDM forever. The old Masquerade in the Music Park and Old Fourth Ward next to it, Iris would rent it out and do Imagine Music Festival there. So we had the first two Imagine Music Festivals at Masquerade with the other promoters because they knew exactly what they were doing. Whereas we were like, we don't have EDM super often, so we're just going to put our faith in you guys to make this happen. And it was cool. I mean, they both did really well. It was awesome to see. It was awesome to experience that genre. Shaky Beats was also started by some of the people involved in Masquerade, and we got all of those late night shows, and those went very, very late. So I understand the want to do things at 9 p.m. instead of starting at midnight. We've gotten more shows lately, working a lot with Zero Mile and a lot just branching out and doing it ourselves as well. But I think a lot of people are in the same boat as you because we do one of those themed dance parties called United We Dance, where it's just an EDM themed, starts at 9 p.m., is over at 2 a.m. type of thing.
Yeah,
And it's been good. It's gone well.
yeah. I've experienced the shaky late night. I've gone to a few of those. Well, I went to the Thursday Incubus, then I went to but I went to Highly Suspect at late night, and I remember that was again getting out of there at 4 a.m. is something else. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Um, for you, like the festival kind of part of this, and kind of putting your manager hat, you know, how difficult it is to pull something on it like that off. I know Tim Sweetwood is obviously the kind of the mastermind behind Shaky Knees, but obviously lots of prep and everything go into that. Like for you, if you guys wanted to have the Masquerade Metal Fest and do it in all the rooms, like is that something y'all have like kicked around, or like is that a
Yeah.
tough ask?
Fun fact, I was Tim's intern.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
way
very
back
cool.
when. And then when Tim left is when I formally started booking for Masquerade. So thank you,
Wow,
Tim.
very cool.
Um, and when he left and Shaky left the Masquerade property, because the first one was at Masquerade, I said, I want to try.
Hmm.
Like, I want to do a festival. And I'm not sure if you're familiar, we did the Wrecking Ball in 2015 and in 2016. In 2015, we kind of did it as a anniversary of, God, I guess 25 years now. Um, well, maybe 26, don't tell anyone. And then we did 2016 as like a farewell um, to that location because that's when we knew like, oh, we are out in November.
Yeah,
So we did that in August. And that was something that me and the other buyer just picked out all of the bands, put it together. I was working really late every night in the office because trying to handle our regular calendar and regular shows, but then also putting together a festival on top of that. it's a lot. It's a lot to take on. You need to have the right site. You need to have sponsors. You need to have your talent budget and negotiate different things like billing, who's going to play what stage, how long they're going to play, what kind of money they're going to get. And that's a lot of back and forth. Billing is a big thing for a lot of people. And I've seen that on the management side as well. Like, you want what your artist deserves. And on the promoter side, you're trying to make everything fit. It's like a big puzzle to make sure everything is on time, in budget, being promoted the right way, and that people are coming. It's a big one.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, that's like thinking through like the sponsorship stuff, like you kind of think through brands that kind of fit the crowd of, all right, hey, like, we serve X beer at Masquerade. Let's go to our rep and say, hey, like we're doing a festival. Like, is it kind of you use those relationships, or is there, kind of you go to a higher level, maybe some a little bit more corporate, kind of feel?
So the way that we did it, because we were just independent, we were just two people who were like, we want to try this, not even fully knowing what it would take. We had done big music park shows, but not putting together, there were close to 60 bands on each. And we were familiar with other companies, familiar with sponsors. We started by talking with our PBR rep, who was the sponsor, and other alcohol reps, and they were another sponsor. And we talked to like Noisy Magazine and a bunch of smaller things, but we didn't have like Live Nation, C3, AEG. They all have, it's someone's whole job to solicit sponsorships for their festivals. And we didn't have that. Like, I was sending out those emails on top of all the other emails. And I think it was probably an area that we lacked in getting all of that money, that money that we could have had, because we just
Yeah,
didn't have the same outreach as some of these larger corporate festivals. And that, I mean, that wasn't the demise of the festival at all. It was the moving and not having the music
yeah,
park and being next to Old Fourth Ward Park. We've talked for many, many years about finding a new site for it, but every time you find something, it's developed the next day. It seems like in Atlanta.
yeah.
So,
That's tough. Well, I mean, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing. I mean, I'm fascinated by kind of the business, and because I understand, like, me going to a show, going to see Diet Sig, like I kind of get that, hey, they're making their money showing up, and then also buying merch is going to make the band money, right?
mhm.
The venue is going to make money on all the beers I drink. Like that's kind of it seems like the split of profit, but like going to something bigger like that, I always wanted to know what kind of the spread is there. Change of topics, like, for you guys, very heavy metal influence at y'all's venues. I mean, I've seen, multiple bands there. I've seen Hell Yeah there, which is one of my favorite metal bands before Vinny died, the drummer. And that was at Heaven. I've been to uh, the smaller venues, of course. You get the bomb mosh pit going. Is there a thing with security of like, hey, like how do you train those folks to let the mosh pit go, but also keep it contained? Like, where is where do you guys draw the line? Is there some kind of like guide there, or is that something that you trust, to some security folk? What do you know there?
We have a really great operations team.
Mhm.
I'm not even too super hands-on with security because they had all previously been trained by our managers, one who has been with us for God knows how long. So
Yeah,
he's seen it, and we've seen almost everything and been through so many different situations. When people are onboarded, they're kind of trained by our people who've been here a while and like been really good at it. Uh, it's important to us that they learn, like, the crowd surfing is a big thing.
yeah,
So there's a proper technique and there's an improper technique. And being around the country, I've seen a lot of improper, and I'm very proud of how everyone kind of learns what to do. You're up there, you're making sure everyone is safe, you're being braced as you come down, putting them down on their feet, type of thing. And as far as the mosh pit, we have people roaming, but when people are smiling and they're good. You don't really have to intervene. If you
Mhm.
see people actively like getting hurt or being
Yeah,
not smiling, then that's usually hey, step in here. Or when people are super wasted and about to start a fight, hey, we're going to make sure that we kind of diffuse this.
Yeah. I know I'm going on. I'm just fangirling because I'm obviously talking to the person who's got a lot of the answers. But last thing, we had on Caroline Kingsbury. She's a really popular. She just played, I believe, with Pom Pom Squad at y'all's
Cool.
place. I think a couple weeks ago. But I saw her. She opened up, or she was the middle band for Fury and Few, and like I think another metal band from California whose name's escaping me right now. But one of the most unique billings, I think there was like a management, tie or something like that. But having a metal show, electro punk metal show, is that something that could be more common, coming in the future with kind of getting more people, exposed to different things and kind of genre mixing? Like, is that something that you guys look at and oh, man.
I think so. We have a great local booking team. We have 4 people right now who are doing the freelance local booking. They do it like per submission or per show that they put together. One of them has been with us for 10 years and he's really great at it, but we recently brought in a few more people to deal with the just mass amounts of shows that we're putting on and to bring in some different genres and some different things that they're kind of specializing in. And they've been bringing in a bunch of mixed bills and it's been really cool. It's really cool to see kind of where their tastes lie and them working with other local bands or regional bands to see what they're open to.
Mhm.
We've also been doing, we have interns every semester and we've been doing intern showcases. So each intern, there's typically 4 of them. They pick a band, the local band, and they book that band. So when you put those 4 choices together, they're not like planning with each other. It's just what they want to hear. So we had like an acoustic country girl one time and like another band who was just yelling a lot. So it's cool. It's fun. Everyone gets to see it and be exposed to it. You've got the fans of all the different genres checking something new out. Like, oh, maybe I'm into that. Maybe I'll check that out
Yeah.
later. We're also seeing it a lot more in kind of like the noise DJ hyperpop world. They want to be more involved with hardcore bands and vice versa. And I think that's a really cool crossover that's being explored. Same goes with hip hop and hardcore, and it's been working really well, I think.
Like getting different things together. I think about when I describe the masquerade to folks. I'm like, guys, you could walk outside and smoke a cigarette, and there could be a metal show going on, a rap concert, a country concert, all in one area.
Mm-hmm.
I think that just makes kind of the variety awesome. The dream would be if you could go from each one, but obviously you got to be you can buy the ticket. But um, well, Elena, I'm gonna get you in here to the Pete Peterson party pack of questions. We'll wrap it up with this. 20 questions right in a row. Cake or pie? Let's rip it.
Pie.
He's buying it up. I love it. Salad or soup?
Salad.
All right. Sunrise or sunset? What are you seeing more of?
Sunrise, I
Okay.
think.
Early rise. I like it.
I just don't have windows in my office. We're underground.
A night in or a night out? What are you having more of?
Night out.
Night out. When you go out and let's say you're at MJQ and your jam comes on, and we're like to hit the robot with one.
Ooh, robot? But like standing in the corner awkwardly.
All right, guac or queso, your favorite Tex-Mex stuff?
Guac.
Waffles or pancakes?
Pancakes.
Coffee or tea with your pancakes?
Coffee.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs. But I love both.
You're more like a ninja or a pirate?
Ninja?
Ninja. Gatorade or Powerade?
Gatorade.
Gatorade. Toast or bagels?
Bagels.
Chips or pretzels?
Chips.
Fries or tots?
Tots.
After a long day, are you more likely to reply a TV show or a movie?
TV show.
TV show. Are aliens real?
Yeah, for sure.
Bigfoot. Is that real?
I like to think so.
Okay. Love at first sight. Is that
Probably.
real? So Pete Peterson's party pack of questions. Give us two bands that we don't know that we ought to check out.
Don't know. Ooh, that makes it harder.
Two bands we
Um,
do know that we should, that got something new out that you love.
a band that's probably not getting enough attention. They're called Downhaul. They're really cool. A little bit of a mix of like a folky Pine Grove vibe, but also a little emo. They put out a new record last year. They're really cool.
Down.
Yeah. Let's see. The other thing that I've been listening to is I believe it's Aya. It's AYA. It just got like a 9 on Pitchfork. Um, it's kind of a noise thing, but it's cool. It's a DJ. She's from the UK. Check it out.
I
Pitchfork's
love it.
on it, so we should all get on it.
Yeah, I love it. We got Aya and we have Downhaul. Those are Elena DeSoto's picks for two bands. And finally, of course, we'd love for you to, pop up in that Spotify, give us that last search you did that, you're, you know, you're looking for. And I will also do the same.
Okay, let's see. I listened to that new Turnstile song today, and that was really good. Um, and I've also been listening to the new Pup songs. I'm really excited for their record to come out in a few weeks.
I love it. I love it. It's a little turnstile, a little pop. Uh, Me personally, I've got some Wim Tapley on here, of Wim Tapley and the Cannons, and then TV on the radio because of Tunde Adebempe's new record. I was like, all right, I want to go back and listen to some more of him. So that's
Awesome.
my two picks. But Elena, thank you so much for taking the time on this Wednesday evening, and we look forward to checking out more shows. The Masquerade, get on their email list. Go
And we have
check
a
out.
text club now. Join the
All
text
right,
club.
join the text club. You'll get it first. Get the exclusive pre-sales, and everything you're looking for there. Elena, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
All right.